So good evening.
Good evening.
And actually, it's a tribute for what we call three fallen giants. G2 Wausi, Amiri Baraka, and Chokwe Lumumba. G2 Wausi, born October 25th, 1939, transitioned May 28, 2013. G2 was both a giant in stature and contributions to the Black liberation struggle. Also known as Big Black, he was a prominent leader of the movement from the 1960s until his transition. He was an educator, a political organizer, and a leader, a cultural worker, and an institution builder. Among his many contributions is his founding of the African American Teachers Association in New York City, leader of the Ocean Hill-Brownsville struggle for community control of education, founder of the East Cultural Center and the Hulu Sasa Shule, meaning Freedom Now, an independent black school. He was a lover of jazz, which was featured at the East and in recent years at his jazz club in Brooklyn called My Suite. G2 was a founding member of the National Black United Front, the African Liberation Support Committee, and numerous local and national coalitions. He was a mentor to some of us and a friend and comrade to others in our organization. Listen to him speak to the Occupy movement in New York.
Radio Raheem.
Thank you, brother Radio Raheem.
Thank you, young people.
Thank you, young people.
I feel grateful to be here this afternoon.
I feel grateful to be here this afternoon.
In 1968, I stood in the halls of Columbia University
I stood in the halls of Columbia University
and addressed the students that had taken over Columbia University. You remember 1968?
You remember 1968?
You remember that the world was in revolution in 1968.
You remember the world was in revolution in 1968?
Young people were in the streets all over this country. And just as they were in the streets in 1968, I want them to be in the streets today. You are leading the way. You are sending the message. Continue to conduct this movement and move it forward. Thank you very much.
Next, Amiri Baraka. Born October 7, 1934, transitioned January 9, 2014. Amiri was renowned as a poet, playwright, and essayist. And to us, he was first and foremost a leader and theoretician of the Black liberation movement. He was a founder of the Black Arts Movement and a key leader of the Black Power Movement, the Congress of African People, the National Black Political Assembly in Gary, Indiana, and the African Liberation Support Committee on a national level. This is just a sketch of his contributions. In Newark, for 5 decades, he struggled for economic, political, and social justice for the people of that city through building cultural, political organizations, and fighting for power. The candidacy of his son Raz for mayor is a component of that legacy. Many of us worked with him in various capacities over the years, and some of us were his personal friends. In the words of Danny Glover, Amiri was the king of words. The best way to pay tribute to him is in his own words. Please check out and enjoy Why Is We Americans?
So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, legendary Amiri Baraka.
This is an excerpt from a poem called Why Is We Americans? But reality is an excerpt on television. Why is we Americans? Why is we Americans? Boodee-da, 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 Boo-dee-da, boo-doo-doo, be-dee-dee-dee, boo-dee-boo-dee, boo-boo-boo. What I want is me, for real. I want me and myself, and what that is what I be and what I see and feel, and who is me and the what it is and who it is and when it me is what it be. I'm going to be here if I want, like I said, self-determination. But I ain't come from a foolish tribe. We wants the mule, the land. You can make it 300 years of blue chip stock in the entire operation. We want to be paid in a central bank, the average worker farmer wage for all those years we gave it free. Plus we want damages for all the killings and the fraud, the lynchings, the missing justice, the lies and frame-ups, unwarranted jailings, the tar and feathering, the character and race assassinations, historical slander, ugly caricatures. For every Sambo, step and fetch it flick, we want to be paid. For every hurtful thing you did or said, for all the land you took, for all the rapes, all the Rosewoods and Black Wall Street you destroyed, all the miseducation, jobs lost, segregated shacks we lived in, the disease that ate and killed us, for all the mad police that drilled us, for all the music and dances you stole, the styles, the language, the hip clothes you copped, the careers you stopped. All these are suits, specific litigation as represent we, be like we, for reparations for damages paid to the Afro-American nation. Boo-dee-da, boo-dee-da, boo-dee-da. We want education for all of us and anyone else in the black pelt hurt by slavery, for all the native peoples, even them poor white people you show all the time is funny, all them Abners and Daisy Mays, them Beverly Hillbillies who never got to know Beverly Hills, who never got to Harvard on their grandfather's wills. We want reparations for them, right on, for the Mexicans whose land you stole, for all of North Mexico, you call it Texas, Arizona, California, New Mexico, Colorado, all that, all that, all that, all that, be-dee-da, doo-doo. Ba, 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 doo, dee, doo. All that you got to give up. Autonomy and reparations to the Chicanos and the Native Americans whose soul you ripped out with their land. Give self-determination, regional autonomy. That's what Maui is asking, and they're going to do the same when they demand it like us again in their own exploited name. Yeah, the education, that's right. 200 years. We want a central stash, a central bank with democratically elected trustees and a board elected by us all to map out from the referendum we set up what we want to spend it on to build that Malcolm sense self-determination as self-reliance and self-respect and self-defense, the will of what the good Dr. Du Bois beat on. True self-consciousness, simply the psychology of freedom. Boo-dee-da, boo-dee-da, bee-dee-da, boo-dee-da, that ba-ba-ba, boo-dee-boo-dee, boo-boo-boo. Then we can talk about being American. Then we can listen. Then we can listen without the undercurrent of desire to first set your ass on fire. We will only talk of voluntary unity, of autonomy as vective arms of self-determination if there is democracy in you. That is where it will be shown. This is the only way we as Americans, this is the only truth that can be told. Otherwise, there is no future between us but war, and we as rather lovers and singers and dancers and poets and drummers and actors and runners and elegant heartbeats of the sun's flame. But we is also at the end of our silence and sit down. We is at the end of being under your ignorant smell, your intentional hell. Either give us our lives or plan to forfeit your own.
Neri Baraka, the king of words.
Yes.
And finally, Chokwe Lumumba, on August 2nd, 1947, transitioned February 25th, 2014. Brother Mayor, leader, comrade Chokwe Lumumba was a major leader and influence in the Black liberation movement. Carrying out the legacy of Malcolm X, he was the founder of the Republic of New Africa, and later the New African People's Organization and the Malcolm X grassroots movement. As a people's lawyer, he defended numerous political prisoners, including Sister Assata Shakur. He represented Tupac Shakur and was responsible for the release of the Scott sisters after serving 16 years of double life sentences for $11 robbery. He was a founding member of the National Conference of Black Lawyers. Chokwe was a ward councilperson and was drafted to run for mayor by the People's Assembly that he helped to found. His program, based on Let the People Decide, called for participatory democracy and a democratic economy utilizing cooperatives and ensuring workers' rights. This was a component of the Jackson Push Plan that he helped to create. Chokwe came and spoke at our banquet last year. Many of you were there, and as a result, we took a delegation, in fact, several delegations to help with his successful campaign. We hope that his son, Chokwe Antar, will be victorious as he seeks to succeed him in an election on Tuesday. You get a chance, go to YouTube and listen to the video from last year's banquet. There's a poem that we had hoped to show, but we're having technical difficulties with it. But if you talk to me later on, we'll let you know. It's a poem called Free the Land Man. And if you remember, that's the cry, free the land, right? And a poet by the name of C. Lee McInnes, who was mentored by Chokwe at Jackson State, is a pretty prominent poet in Mississippi now. And he said, you know, when we were young, we were talking about comics and Justice League, you know, like they had a Justice League, we need a Negro Justice League. And say, and what would you name the people and whatnot? So he said, Free the Land Man. That's who Chokwe was, Free the Land Man. So if you get a chance, we'll try to get that to you, but it's a powerful poem. And I'd like to end, at least in Chokwe's honor, but in all of our honor, actually, and say, Free the land! Free the land!